Hey friends, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thanks for stopping in. All right, so I have my tumbler. My tumbler has been painted with yellow paint. This is what I painted it with. And it has been prepped. I have my epoxy. This is my 2-part epoxy. And it is Pro Marine. I know there's quite a bit here, but I've got a couple things that I'm doing, so this is not necessarily just for this tumbler. So I am going to put on my glitter. Using the epoxy method here. And this is going to be a minion cup. So I want to just get epoxy on the entire cup, but I don't want it to be a lot because it doesn't take a lot to put your glitter on. And all you're gonna do is just soak up unnecessary glitter. But you do want to make sure that you have epoxy covering the entire thing. And so this noodle that I have on here is honestly a little loose for this particular tumbler, but it's only gonna, roll for a little bit to get my glitter on, so it's fine. And when I do the other stuff, I'll find one that fits better. All right, so I really just a little bit. That color's so pretty under epoxy. This is the color that I use a lot when I'm doing like beehive tumblers. I love it. All right, so I'm going to apply my glitter. And when you're doing it this way, you just really do not want to use more epoxy than necessary, because all you're gonna do is, use more glitter. But you definitely want to make sure that you have epoxy covering your entire cup, because otherwise you will have bald spots for your glitter. All right, so we'll let that dry and then we'll come back and work on it some more. All right. So our glitter is nice dry. So now we're just going to put a nice coat over. Give us a nice smooth surface over our glitter. If we don't do this, then decals are not going to stick, because the decals will not stick to the bumpy glitter surface. And when you try to put your decals on and you put epoxy over it, your decals are going to lift in places. And you'll have epoxy underneath your decals. And that's a bear to fix. You can see I have a place right here where my glitter is not covered as well. And that's sometimes the problem with doing soft glitter in this method. At least it has been for me. And, you know, I make sure that it's all covered well. It's one of the reasons why I don't do this method as often. Now, I could go in and just add some more glitter right now and do, you know, a second round to this. Or I could look at it and say, oh, I could probably cover that with my decals and it's no big deal. You know, that's going to be up to you and how much time you have. For me, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little more glitter. I'm so sorry for my arm. I know that it's blocking the view of seeing the glitter being put on. Where this particular turner is located, and I am so right-handed, it's hard for me to get away from the camera. So I do apologize. Only because I'm making this to show you guys, and I'll be giving this tumbler away. I'm not like selling and, you know, in a hurry. That definitely makes a difference. It's one of the reasons that I don't sell tumblers. I mean, if I had the luxury of working on them all day and letting that be like my primary job, but I don't. And I love my primary job, so alright, that's better. There's a place up here on the top I want to get, I can see. Yeah, kind of up there too. I know that there's some people that only do this method and it works so fantastic for them, which is awesome because it's, you know, can certainly be quicker, and, you know, many times it's quicker for me too. It just depends on how, you know, the glitter ends up laying. So, all right, so we'll let that happen, and then we'll come back and put another coat on it when we get back. I'm actually kind of glad that it didn't cover great, because I like for you to see that, you know, it doesn't always come out perfect each time. And sometimes when, you know, you see the videos, especially for the sake of time and not making super long videos, and you're watching people's videos, sometimes it feels like things come out perfect all the time. And sometimes you have to just tweak things, you know? It's just part of it. All right, we'll see you in a bit. So, now, we got 2 coats of glitter on this one. We're just going to give it a nice smooth coat so that when we apply our decals, we got a good surface to do so. Now, this isn't going to be a huge amount of epoxy. It's enough to give a smooth surface over our glitter. And then our final round of epoxy will get the pour. Want to make sure that everything is covered, because we want a perfectly smooth surface. And I want to make sure I get my ends very well. And I will go with a baby wipe into the parts that shouldn't have epoxy and just wipe them really good so that nothing stays on them. All right, and we're done. All right, so we have our epoxy over our glitter, and this turned out perfect. It is smooth and perfect, and there's not even anything for me to sand prior to putting on my decals. Now I do have a light glitter place here, so I'll make sure decal goes over it, but it turned out great. So I am going to do some minions on this, and I love this guy here with and these decals here are from the Dollar Tree. All right. Super cute. And we'll put some epoxy over top of it. All right. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time for my sort of awkward position here. The way my table is set up, it's hard for me to get on this tumbler. And show you guys without, trying to get my hands all out of the way and camera in the right spot. Move this so you can see. So as you can see, I'm starting with just putting a nice light light coat over it because I want to make sure that everything is covered. So now I'll do a little pour on it, or a flood coat, as they say. On this one, I'm just going to let it spin and work its own magic. I want to make sure I get my top bed. Alright, so we're going to just let that spin and do its thing. And then we'll be back when it's done. Hey friends, so here we are. Our tumbler is finished. Look how cute this turned out. So cute. Now I do have one little spot right there because I messed it up. I had switched it to a different turner while it was turning, and I didn't realize that I got my finger there. So I'll be just, I put a little glitter there. I'll put a little bit more, sand that down, and when I go to put the name on it, you won't be able to tell. But I want you to see how nice and smooth this is. It turned out so super stinking cute. Again, I didn't do the bottom. When I put the name on, I'll be putting something down here, and then the last coat, it'll get a little bit of this. And when I do put the name on, it'll just be a very thin coat of epoxy that goes over that. So, but look how great this turned out. It's so cute. And again, these Minion decals came from the Dollar Tree. So cute. And then the color that I used for this is Glitter Chimp, and it's called Mellow Yellow. And I think it's a really perfect color for a Minion tumbler. So there's that. And I apologize, I don't remember the price of this particular one, but they do have good prices. So, all right, so there is our tumbler complete. I hope that this video was helpful and maybe gave you some inspiration. And yeah, so listen, if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. All right, friends, listen, you guys have a blessed and beautiful rest of the day. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye.